Hello and welcome back to the Cove with more Mass Effect. Well, here we are. We have our squad with us. We have Talia and Garrus, which is pretty good. We are in CSEC at the moment, and we were about to head to the elevator. However, I remembered we haven't exactly had a look through Citadel security, so we're going to quickly go ahead and have a bit of a look around. And then we also need to go ahead and see about handing off some information to a reporter. So that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we'll find another keeper as well.
Okay,
we have
Jade.
been working...
Let me get this straight. Your business partner, Shorban, he's threatened you?
Well, no, not exactly. But he wants to meet with me. I think he's going to kill me.
And why do you think that?
I can't really get into the details. But Shorban will kill me if I leave here unprotected.
I can't help you. Not unless you give me something more to go on.
Alright, you know, let's see if we can help out as a Spectre. I
can't.
think that's an idea.
I'm sorry. Hey there. Oh, you're not CSEC, are you? Did you want something?
What were you trying to explain to the officer before?
My colleague is trying to kill me, and I thought we were friends.
How do you know he wants you dead?
He's changed. He won't talk to me at work anymore, and he started following me. Yesterday, he followed me all the way home, just waiting for a chance. I don't care what anyone thinks. He wants me gone. I know it.
Is there something I can do? Talk to your friend, maybe?
Would you? That's all I want. Someone to talk to him. Tell him to leave me alone. He thinks he can just push me around, but you'll show him, won't you?
Just tell me where he is and I'll go find him.
Oh, right. Well, he wanted to meet with me down in the wards near the markets. He said he just wanted to talk, but I know better. His name's Shorban. He's a Solarian. You shouldn't have any trouble. He's just a scientist.
Wasn't that the Solarian who asked us to scan the Keepers?
The Keepers? Well, even more reason to go after him. That's against regulations.
I better look into this right away. Find out what he's up to.
Anything's possible with Shorban these days. Well, good luck.
Well, you know, a little bit more information on that. That's rather interesting. And who would have thought? A scientist Solarian. But anyway, what have we got up here? This seems like it's important. I think it's a traffic control on the map. Yeah, very cool. What have we got here? Terminal for some more experience. There we go. You know what? That's a whole heap of free XP. Can we make our way through here at all? No, we can't. And then there's a ladder. Not a ladder, sorry, an elevator. Very cool. And you know what? There is a keeper. That is excellent. More money and XP. I don't know where these guys are meant to be looking, but it looks like the hangar bay is closed. Is that meant to be a hangar bay? I feel like something's missing there. But oh well, you know what? At least it's something to look out. Probably better than most of the office jobs. Alright, well either way, let's go ahead and quickly check anything out. I think there was a computer, not in here, but over there. Also too, that Solarian being in... Oh, skill too low. Okay, have to work on more decryption and come back later. But yeah, the good news is that Solarian is down in the markets, and that's where we need to go meet Emily, so we can hand off our information to her. So, let's go ahead, and this should be the elevator to the wards. Let's go ahead and there's the button.
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
Alright, well, I guess, oh, there's something else in the journal. Yep, I'm guessing that's another mission for us to deal with. That'll be fun. Alright, so, oh, you know what? Excellent. Let's go ahead and scan the Keeper. That'll be good. And then let's see if we can make our way over to Emily and the markets. Okay, so this should be nice and quick. Okay, let's not... Oh, wait a second. Never mind. I thought Emily was one of those two. It was not.
Word on the street is that you've been busy. Congratulations on taking down Fist. I was sure he was a big player in anything going on here. Did you find anything in his office that could help me?
These OSDs might have the information you're looking for.
You've got Fist's files? This could be even bigger than I'd hoped. Here, Commander, for your trouble.
What would my future cooperation be worth? Say, an interview when my investigation is over?
Exclusive? You talk to me before you talk to anyone else? That would be worth quite a bit, and I'd be very happy to compensate you accordingly. Here you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should go see what's on these discs.
Alright, well that worked out fairly well, and some decent amount of money as well. That is very good. Let's go ahead and let's open the doors, and I think, yeah, here we are. We should be in the top half of the markets. Now we just need to find where Corbin is. Or Chorban, sorry, and we will see about that. Alright, let's scan him, that should be fine, and then back downstairs. Yep, okay, he's on the lower levels. Easy enough. There he is. Okay. Oh, and is that some security as well?
Commander, I wasn't expecting to see you again. Is there something you want?
You can start by telling me the truth, Shorban.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. My experiments are...
We're not buying it. Jalid told us you've been after him.
You spoke with Jalid? Then you know about the data?
No, but you're gonna tell me. Everything.
You boys can go. Looks like my plans have changed. It's not as bad as you think, Commander. Jalid and I just got a little over our heads.
Keep talking.
The company we work for developed an experimental procedure for use in medical scanners. Jalid and I saw even more potential, so we stole the plans and secretly developed a tool to scan the Keepers. Can you imagine? A tool that can actually get readings from the Keepers?
What's so special about that?
The Keepers are almost impossible to scan, and you can't capture them or get samples. They just self-destruct. After centuries here, we still don't know anything about them. Don't you see? We were the first to scan them, ever. You've seen it yourself, Commander. You know we can do it.
Why are you trying to kill your partner?
I'm not trying to kill him. Jalid's job was to disseminate our initial findings. But he decided to keep the data for himself. Maybe to sell it. I don't know.
So you're just trying to get back what Jalid already stole?
We lost our heads. We just couldn't let an opportunity like this pass us by. Commander, if you'll just continue gathering data for me, imagine what we might learn. And you'll stand to make a bit of a profit yourself, remember?
You know what? Let's...
I suppose a little scanning here and there won't hurt anyone.
Very good. Maybe if you wouldn't mind speaking with Jalid. The data you're gathering for me is useless if Jalid won't help me analyze it.
I'll go have a chat with him right now.
Thank you. And happy scanning, Commander.
Alright, so I'm not sure if that would have terminated the mission or not, but I think it's worth keeping. Again, the money being made is fairly solid. Let's see, we just need to find our way now to a transit. Yeah, we've got one here, although you know what? We have got a bit more money. Maybe we can talk to one of these vendors.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Oh, okay, so we have non-human armors and standard items. Let's have a look at the standard items first. See if we can get the most benefit for most of our people, like weapons and such. Medigel upgrade, you know what, that seems like a good plan. Let's go ahead and purchase that. And then another grenade upgrade. That could also be rather good. Let's just see, how much money have we got? We can afford one more. Oh, you know what? Elena's Risk Control License. Yes, let's go ahead and pick that up. And, but does that now mean we don't have enough money? Yes, it does. Okay, well, we'll need to come back at some point. Oh, actually, you know what? We could sell maybe some of our older stuff. Yeah, good thoughts there. Let's go ahead and hand off the basic shotguns. We can sell you. That is fine. Actually, set all as junk. Huh. I don't remember there being a way of designating things as junk. Okay, let's see, we'll sell off the basic sniper rifle as well. We'll keep the others. We have a couple of storms. We'll sell those off. Right, of course, we need the accept button. A couple of basic lances we can get rid of. And a couple of basic pistols. We'll keep the anti-personnel rounds. We'll keep any of the weapon upgrades, I think. And then... yeah, high explosive 1. Hang on a second. Did we say a high explosive 2? Yes, we did. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and... type. There we go. That should be a little bit easier for us to sort through things. A couple of assault rifles, sniper rifles. Let's see. Armors. Here we go. Grenade upgrade. So we've got high explosive 1 and 2. We don't need the lesser of them. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Incendiary, no. Shield regenerator. Anti-personnel. Okay, well for now, I think we'll keep what we've got. That should be sufficient. Oh, and hang on a second.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop.
Let's
You
just
want any good
quickly
supply?
jump back through.
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Alright, let's just quickly skip through the dialogue because that's unnecessary. And yet we have 3,000. So let's go ahead and check out the... grenades or Medigel? I think Medigel is going to be the best thing for us. We'll go ahead and 0 our count there. That should be fine. Okay, very nice. Well, now that we've got that done and dusted, we can head back to CSEC. I think the best plan for us would be to... actually, you know what? As much as I want to go through the rapid transit, this is the pathway where we found Tali. I do wonder whether there's going to be a keeper down this alley, because this would be an easy place to miss. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's another keeper for us to scan. That'll be fine, and then I think this takes us out anyway. So, yeah, it's not really here nor there. Oh, and that's to the Presidium. Actually, you know what? Take that back. Let's go ahead and run back to the other direction. We don't need to load everything else. Nothing hiding in those little nooks and crannies. Nope. Alright then. Now, where was it? CSEC. Down in the wards. Let's go ahead and say hello to Jalid and see what is exactly going on with our data there. And then we can go ahead and make our way towards the bay. Right, so, back in this direction. Here we go. Should be fairly easy. Yep, there it is. And we'll see exactly what's going on.
Hello again. Did you have any luck finding Shorban?
I found out you've been lying to me, Jalid.
Lying? Why would I lie to you?
You forgot to mention the data about the Keeper.
He told you? I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I was afraid Shorban would kill me to get the data, so well, I was hoping you'd take care of him.
I'm scanning the Keepers for Shorban, but you two need to stop fighting.
You're helping us? But, well, if you say so. Well, if Shorban can forgive and forget, then so can I. I appreciate the help, Commander. I better go get that data analyzed.
Alright, well that works out fairly well. Let's see if we can chat to the CSEC officer. Apparently we can chat to him. So who knows, maybe he has,
Hello, Commander.
No, he has nothing for us. Okay, well then, let's go ahead and jump on the elevator and see exactly what Anderson and Udina have for us. Alright, so let's see, up to the docking bay.
Coming up in a report later today, Emily Wong investigates corruption on the Citadel and uncovers a full-blown crime syndicate.
Well, looks like our information paid off. How very nice. Alright, let's have a chat.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
What happened?
I failed. I couldn't make the cut. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The conduit. He's got his Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Okay, well, we have a couple of choices then. Could start with Pharos or Noveria. Let's go with Noveria.
Maybe I can get to Noveria before the Geth.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Alright. Well, looks like we have a ship in our command. How very, very nice.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
Tell me what happened with you and Saren 20 years ago.
It's close to 20 years ago now. Ambassador Goyle was our representative here on the Citadel. Like Udina, she wanted to get a human into the Spectres. She chose me. The Council sent Saren to keep an eye on me and evaluate my performance, just like they sent Nihilus to keep tabs on you.
I think I deserve the whole story.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned?
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care. The target was eliminated, Mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
Alright, I think that's probably pretty good. Let's go ahead.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
That's good information, though. We now know what kind of fellow Saren is. Getting a little bit of extra understanding is always worthwhile. And that is enough for a level up. So let's go ahead and put a couple more points into things. We have 4 more points. Let's go ahead and invest in... what do we desire? Extra health and regen could be good. We could go... Oh, you know what? Yes, Unity. That's what we were after. That'll get us the ability to revive our squad mates if they go down in combat. And then we have another 2 points. I think... Maybe we go ahead and we use the advanced overkill? Yeah, you know, let's go ahead and make sure that that's nice and sorted. Sniper rifles is also unlocked, which could be good. We could then in the future go for, what's this, assassination. Next shot will inflict damage equal to 200% of weapons DPS. Wow. Purges weapon heat on use. So I think if we heat it up to maximum to where we can't use it, if we use the ability, that'll still give us an extra shot, which would be very, very nice. Alright, and then as for Garrus, you've got a couple of options. Let's go for... We could reach Advanced Dampening or Master Sabotage. Sabotage, let's see. Extra Decryption or extra... Actually, never mind. That is decryption. That's what we want. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll boost that up. And then anything else that we care about, we could go ahead and boost up the tactical armor or the assault rifles. I think... Let's have a look. Damage by 8 and accuracy by 14. Or, yeah, damage reduction and hardening. I think... Let's see, assault training, adrenaline burst, that could be good for them so they can have more uses of abilities. And then, oh, we've got electronics in the future as well. So that'll give us, yeah, those objects. I think what we'll do is we'll focus on... You know, let's just max out our decryption for now for tech explosion damage, and then we'll put another point into the assault rifles, balance that out a bit, and for Tali... she already has electronics, so let's max out her overload skill. That would be very nice. So we've now, between Garrus and Tali, we've got electronics as well as decryption available, so that'll be nice. And then with another 2 points, maybe we go ahead and we boost up her damage. Or actually, maybe we could even go for sabotage. Got some good choices there. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and increase our sabotage. That way we can, if we need to bring Tali along, we can do electronics and decryption. That would be good. And we also might be able to undo hacking. But I think for now, let's go ahead and... let's put another point into pistols. We want to make sure that she is still good in a fight. So, that seems pretty good to me. Let's go ahead and... you know what, we'll make it back to the Citadel. We can do some decryption later on that device that we saw. But let's go ahead and investigate our new ship and talk to the crew.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of. Our enemy knows we're coming. When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too. Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped, and I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The Captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, well, good speech. Let's see. Do we really need to, is there anything, let's have another, we just walked away. We'll talk to Joker later. Apparently, hang on a second, was that hang on, there was something for us to investigate. Oh, there it is, the nav manual 1.4.1. I suppose that's useful to know. And then let's have a chat to Navigator Presley. He could have some good info.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, cool. Well, we've got some well-veteraned individuals. Do we go ahead and check out the galaxy map, or should we have a quick chat before we leave? I think we'll go ahead and quickly check in on some of our new friends. We'll see that everything's going well. And hopefully everything should be fairly good. So, it looks like we've got Caden down here. Let's have a chat with him and get to know him a little bit better.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Alright, so, by the numbers, that's always good to know that your crew is reliable on that end of things. Personal manual examine. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Get some extra XP. I'm guessing this is the captain's quarters? Our quarters now, maybe? Well, that's nice. There are perks to being in charge. We also have a sleeper pod. Okay. Sure. A little bit of XP never goes astray. And then I think over here is the medbay. Let's just check in on Dr. Chakwas. Who knows, she might have some more questions for us after the beacon.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
How well do you know the Lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
Well,
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
That is, yeah, that's interesting. Good to know about the crew, just in case that ever plays into things. I gotta say, though, I don't think there's ever been the situation where it's just a migraine. Migraines are particularly horrendous beasts. But either way, can't do much about that. Can't do much about that at all. Alright, so either way, let's go ahead and head down to the cargo bay and see where the rest of the crew is at. Looks like Garrus has found a vehicle. I believe that's our Mako. And then there's Ashley and Rex as well. Oh, and a requisition officer. Okay, well, you know, we've picked up a couple of licenses already. Maybe we can have a chat with him and see if he knows of any more.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased, but I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Alright, so let's have a quick look through and see what kind of things are available. Looks like he's got some, Specter gear. Hey, okay, so that's going to be very, very nice. A prototype sidearm. Unfortunately, that is a whole heap of cash that we do not have. Yeah, plenty of others. Okay, well, it's good to know that we're going to need to pick up a whole heap of extra money. Good to know. Let's also go ahead and see if there's anything worth selling. We'll go by... Actually, all of these sell values aren't too good for now. You know, let's just leave that there. That'll be fine. Let's see how the rest of the individuals are fitting into the ship. Let's have a chat with Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. C-Sec's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside C-Sec. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without C-Sec headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Alright, well, good to set some boundaries and expectations early on. Otherwise, yeah, well, people cannot abide to expectations and boundaries that they don't know of. It's got to be communicated nice and early. But either way, let's chat to Rex.
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Alright, should we ask about the genophage? You know what, just in case you are not familiar with the genophage, let's go ahead and ask him about it nonetheless.
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Alright, so let's talk to Ashley, and then I think Tali is the last one.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
Alright, so got a little bit, yeah, understandable there. I can understand wanting to have saved her crew and all that. At least we know how that feels. Alright, but it looks like here is the engine room. Very, very nice. Let's see, let's go ahead and examine, and then Let's talk to Tali. Yeah. Oh, actually, we can... Oh, Element 0 core as well. Okay. Let's talk.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Oh, that's...
I should go.
Well, that's
See
a
you later.
bit of an insight into the Quarians, and then I suppose we may as well talk to our chief engineer. I think that's probably an important thing, just in case.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Let's just ask if there's anything we need to know.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Alright, so good to know, but again, we don't need an entire rundown of the ship. So let's go ahead, and I think what we'll do is we'll make our way up to the navigation panel, and I think that's probably where we'll call things. We've made pretty good progress so far today. We've been able to finish off a couple of little missions, and we've got to, you know, we can understand why things have happened the way that they have. So I think that's a pretty good spot. We'll go ahead and we will fly on out of here in the next one. So if you do want to see that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It is the best way to catch all future content, and I'll see you next time. So until then, thank you for tuning in to the Leviathan Cove. This is the Leviathan signing out.